All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of HoopTalk. This is our first video episode that we have ever done. So if you guys are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify right now, make sure to go to YouTube and watch the video if you want to see our faces, our beautiful faces.
Very beautiful faces, yeah.
All right, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Donovan Mitchell trade first. Basically all the current stuff, like the situation going on with the Celtics and their head coach, Ime Udoka. And then we'll talk about some media day stuff, some things going on in the league, some quotes that were said. And then the last thing we'll do is a redraft of the 2016 draft class. We'll just do like the top 10 picks. But yeah. That's when we're talking about this episode. But first, let's start off with the Donovan Mitchell trade. So, the Cavaliers traded for Donovan Mitchell, and they gave up Lauri Markkanen, Ochai Agbaji, and most importantly, Colin Sexton. Or actually, most importantly, 3 unprotected first-round picks and 2 pick swaps for Donovan Mitchell. And then Colin Sexton agreed on a 4-year, $72 million sign-and trade deal to join the Jazz. All right, what are your thoughts on this? I got
a lot of thoughts on this.
Okay.
Well, as we can for sure say this, not just after the Rudy Gobert trade, but after the Donovan Mitchell trade, this era in Utah is over. They've kind of scrapped it. Obviously this core wasn't going to go anywhere. You had a lot of salary cap issues you couldn't work your way around out of. But I like this trade for both teams. I do think the Cavs kind of got fleeced. Just a little bit. Just a tad bit. Nothing crazy, just a tad bit. Just because 3 unprotecteds, your first-round pick, basically, in Ochai Agbaji, very solid 3-and-D guy. But he hasn't proven it at the next level yet, but we'll see. And Lauri Markkanen, who's kind of a lost cause in the NBA at this point, he's like a novelty. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's just like a novelty 7-footer that can do some things that your normal 7-footer couldn't. Who also plays small forward and is a 7-footer. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I like this trade. Obviously, Colin Sexton and the Cole Cleveland situation was weird because he was a free agent for a little bit, and they weren't really going to sign him to a big contract. And I mean, I wouldn't say things with Colin Sexton didn't work out. It's just like you've kind of found your guy in Darius Garland, and you kind of just want to improve as much as you can upon that. And then you bring in another guy like Donovan Mitchell. Like, I think if you have enough of these guys, I said the word guy a lot here. If you have a Donovan Mitchell and you have a Darius Garland, you can kind of replicate the production and playmaking of not like a tier 1A, like a tier 1B player, like a Kawhi or not a Jokic is too good. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like you kind of just
yeah.
Like nobody on this team is at an MVP level except for Evan Mobley.
MVP level.
Oh, give us time.
MVP level.
Give us some time. We haven't done a prediction.
Evan Mobley.
Yet. You should see my MVP
MVP
pick this year, Ennes. It's a bit wild. It's a bit wild.
That is wild. Continue though.
So you're building this team around these 2 guards, which is kind of funny. Around these 2 short guards, which Colin Sexton and Darius Garland were. Around these 2 short guards who are going to provide most of your offensive playmaking. And also, since Darius Garland they brought in Karis LeVert last year at the trade deadline. Sorry. I got a brain freeze.
You good.
At the trade deadline last year to kind of bring in some of that playmaking juice that they were missing after Colin Sexton went down. That didn't super work out. Karis LeVert wasn't able to kind of provide them what they needed. And they saw an opportunity in Donovan Mitchell, who wanted out of Utah. The Utah situation was kind of fizzling out. So they took their shot, and you got another guy on your team. I don't think this brings them into the Sixers or the Boston category of teams, even though Boston is looking like it's about to,
Oh no. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't worry.
We'll talk about
Don't
that in
worry.
a second. We'll talk about that. But I don't think this brings them to that level yet. There's still a lot of unproven talent on this team. Like, they played in one play-in game. But this team is really good. I think we're both super high on Evan Mobley and what he can be later in his career. Darius Garland is already one of the best playmaking creators in the league. I like their whole team. There's a couple questions at small forward currently. There's Karis LeVert there. And there's also there's also Isaac Okoro, who missed the most. I don't know what the stat is. I heard this somewhere. You guys can go verify this. You guys are probably on your laptop or something while you're doing this. Just go Google this real quick. Isaac Okoro was the most wide open player in the league, and he missed the most wide open threes in the league last year. But he's a really good defender. So you're kind of at a Matisse Thybulle situation. But Matisse is a bit different in terms of how he defends, but as a team defender and a rotational defender, and a guy you can switch onto basically anybody that's not named Joel Embiid, he's a pretty valuable player to have coming off your bench. Isaac Okoro, look out! Look out for him next year. Just make some threes. We'll be all right. But I like this team though, and for Utah, I don't love their roster at all. Ennes, obviously, this is the start of a rebuild. Colin Sexton, I like. He might average 35 points a game next year. I think that's a real possibility, just with how many shots are just open on this team. Who would be the second option on this team? Jordan Clarkson? Jordan Clarkson would be the second option on this team that takes the most shots. So
Jordan Clarkson. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think Jordan Clarkson's going to be on Utah by the end of the year. I think he's probably going to get moved. Oh yeah, Mike Conley doesn't shoot the ball anymore though, so. But yeah.
Right. So basically, my opinion on this is Colin Sexton isn't that much worse than Donovan Mitchell. He's not that much worse than Donovan Mitchell. Bro, Sexton, I do believe that, but this trade was good for both teams, but I think the Cavs, even though the Cavs improved the most on paper, on paper they're the better team, obviously, the Jazz are basically setting themselves up for the future way better in terms of draft picks, even though they're basically in rebuild mode right now. Basically, I'll read to you the list of the draft picks that they have. They have the 2023 first round pick. They have 3 2023 first round picks. They have a 2024 first round picks, 3 25 first round picks, a 26 first round pick, 3 27 first round picks, a 28 first round picks, and 3 29 first round picks. That's insane, bro.
That's a lot.
And they gave up Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Basically, they got a lot of the draft picks from the trades that they made in the offseason with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
But like I said, bro, Colin Sexton and Donovan Mitchell are 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B?
Donovan Mitchell's 1A, Sexton
1A, 1B. Nah,
yeah.
it's no.
Bro,
listen, once I see Colin Sexton...
big difference between them.
Once I see Colin Sexton score 55 points in the playoffs...
be all that.
Listen, once I see Colin Sexton score 55 points in the playoffs, I'll let you know. I'll let you know who's 1A, 1B. That's a bit wild.
Okay, but... Dude, but I don't...
Okay, I understand where you're coming from.
That's maybe an exaggeration, but
I understand where you're coming from. I see the vision. These are... the archetype of player is very similar. What they do and what they provide to a basketball team is pretty similar. I think Donovan Mitchell as a playmaker has a little bit more juice. I think as a defender, he has a lot more potential because he has a 6'10" wingspan and he's 6'4". I think he could really be one of the best defenders in the league, but he just chooses not to be. I think in Cleveland, they might be able to hone that in a little bit more. I think at some point in his career, probably his second or third season, especially that bubble season, I think we kind of came out of that thinking he was going to be, he could be the best player on a championship team. I don't think he has that type of potential anymore. I think he's 6 years into his career now. I think if he's ever going to make a leap, I think it's going to be the hardest to do in Cleveland. Just like he's a really good player, but it's going to be hard to take a scoring leap, at least like in Cleveland. Just with the amount of like creation they have there, they want to get Evan Mobley more touches. Darius Garland is probably going to be the primary pick and roll creator. Obviously, they're going to get stuff done with Donovan Mitchell as well, just to get him going. But in terms of like on-ball creation, I do think it's going to be primarily Darius Garland. He's not going to get all the reps, of course, but he is the smartest player on the team when it comes to playmaking. I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell's dumb, but he's just not as good in the pick and roll as Darius Garland is. That's just kind of what it is. But I think if he were to take a leap, like to be that next like echelon of player, I think he'd have to become a really good defender, which I think he can be. I think, Ennes, I personally think that defense is like 90% effort. I think like your technique can be something that can be worked on like super easily. Like, okay, he's not sliding his feet. He does like 3 workouts. He can slide his feet now. Like, it's not a huge deal. Like if you want to become better at tracking down the ball, like, and not fouling, that takes like 3 practice drills. Like, it's not super hard to do that. Like, I think if you just want to play defense, then you play defense. That's why guys like Pat Bev are still in the league, even though Pat Bev will have a night where he goes 0 for 9 from 3, because he plays really good defense and he tries really hard. So if Donovan Mitchell, who's already really good on offense, can play really good on defense, that boosts his career time. Not just career, but it's just like, as a player, you could provide so much to your team, and with less to do on the offensive side of the ball, take more off-ball reps, more catch and shoot, more attacking off kickouts. You should be able to play more defense instead of being the primary creator in every single rep. So, yeah, he should be much better in Cleveland next year. I don't think he's going to take a leap scoring-wise, but I think he's going to be a much better player.
Yeah, I mean, especially because I feel like this team that he's on now with the Cavs, I feel like it's a much better suited for him to take that leap. I mean, with the Jazz, all he could do is basically do set pick and rolls, or basically every play he would walk down and the whole play would be a pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, and that was basically their only offense, or kick it out to Bojan, who also did get traded, by the way. We'll talk about that later. But I feel like this team is nice. Like, it's better suited for him. Like, it's a young team. Darius Garland is very good. Is a very good playmaker who can help Donovan Mitchell. He also has Evan Mobley with him. Those pick and rolls are going to be nasty. And yeah, I mean, like, this team is nice. It's a good team. On paper, it's a good team. I feel like they could be a top 5 seed in the East. But yeah, like I said before, bro, I don't really see how, I don't really know how the Jazz managed to get this much from the Cavs. I mean, 5 first-round picks, 2 unprotected, and also adding on 2 young, solid, or not maybe that solid, but like good role players. So,
hey,
yeah, and like,
if Laurie Markkinen, if you want to come on the pod, we will gladly let you come on the pod. We didn't say nothing bad about you. I thought you had a lot more potential.
He's not bad.
No. He's not bad at all.
He's not bad. And like, they got a first round pick from last year, or from this draft, who hasn't proven himself.
Yeah, Ochai's good. Don't sleep on Ochai. Don't sleep on Ochai. I'm not saying he's a sure thing, Ennes, but he's a pretty close thing to it. Okay, you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying. I think Ochai is the closest thing to a sure 3-and-D player. The 3-ball is not going to be. I'm going to tell you guys right now. The 3-ball is not going to be super consistent his first year, but year 2 and 3, you're going to want to Ochai Agbaji on your team. All right. Anyway, you keep going.
Yeah, I think Danny Ainge has done a really good job setting up the Jazz for success in the future. He's gotten a ton of good young players, especially from that Timberwolves trade. He's gotten a bunch of draft picks, like we mentioned before. I read off all the draft picks to you guys. Yeah, I think he's just setting themselves up for a really good rebuild, and I think this rebuild will be successful. And yeah, I think obviously it was a win for both sides. But I do think the Jazz won this trade in the long run. We were talking about the same thing with the Timberwolves trade, actually. Like, the Timberwolves did get better on paper, but the Jazz won the trade in the long run because of how many picks they got, how many good young players they got. It's kind of the same situation. I mean, it's a trend that keeps repeating with the Jazz. And we'll see what happens with the other trades they make. Maybe, like you said, Jordan Clarkson might get moved. They already traded Bojan Bogdanovic to the Pistons. So Danny Ainge is doing a good job with them. All right, let's talk about the whole situation going on with the Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. So news just recently came out that he was having improper relations with Celtics.
Why'd you say it like that? Why'd you say improper relation? Like, dog,
improper.
bro, I can't take this. I can't. They're gonna look at this and gonna be like, "Why are you laughing at this?" Like, bro. I'm not trying to, dog. Ennis is saying improper relations.
Keep it straight face, bro. Straight face. This is serious matters right here. Yeah, improper relations with a Celtics staff member, employee. What do you call her?
Oh my god! All right, okay.
What's your word for it though? What's your word for it,
bro? I don't know. How do you say this? How do you say this dude was wild at his job in a professional way? How do you say that?
I mean, I just did it, bro. That was very professional. All right.
We're not gonna use that take. All right. This is not going on the TikTok.
We using that.
This is not going on the TikTok.
We using that on the TikTok, bro.
Oh my god.
All right, should I restart it?
God, restart that.
Okay. All right, so now let's talk about the whole situation going on with the Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. There's an investigation that found that Ime Udoka had improper relations with. Yo, why'd you mute, bruh? Yo. Oh, never mind.
I was good.
No, you're good. That's my bad. All right.
Why'd you mute, dog?
All right, let me restart. All right, so now let's talk about the whole situation going on with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. There was an investigation that found that he was having an unprofessional relationship with a Celtics staff member or employee, whatever you want to call her. He was suspended a full year from the NBA, and many people are questioning what his future holds. Like, will he still be a head coach of the Celtics after this year? I don't know. Will he ever find a job in the NBA after this year? I don't know. Some people are even saying he might not have a job as an NBA coach after this year. In my opinion, I do think he's going to have a job. I think he's definitely going to have a job after this year, even if the Celtics do decide to fire him. I think he's a great coach, and I don't think this is really going to do anything for his image. I mean, like, it was consensual, like, you know. He did cheat on his wife. So, yeah, what you think?
I think he's probably gonna have a job. Not in the super near future though. At least not as a head coach, and especially not for the Celtics. If the Celtics took it this seriously to the point where, and let's remember, there hasn't been anything like besides like a Woj tweet about what actually happened. Like, I have no clue what happened to the point where you would suspend him for a whole year. I'm not saying that seems like a bit much, but it's also like if TJ Warren, not TJ Warren, but Tyreek Evans is out of the league, TJ Warren barely plays basketball. Nah, but if Tyreek Evans is out of the league for for PED use, and that's a year, if like an inner office relationship, like I don't know if that discloses a year of like suspension. I'm not saying like obviously what he did was a horrible thing to his wife.
Yeah.
And it was with somebody that was beneath him, like in the chain of command in the office, which can elicit some type like that's usually not a good thing.
Usually,
yeah. No, usually. No, but I don't think it'll be for the Celtics just because they took it this seriously. And I do think there's going to be something, like Matt Barnes keeps acting like a little girl about it on social media. He's like, if y'all know what Ime Udoka did, y'all wouldn't be talking the way you was.
Bro, how does he know, though?
I know. Well, because all the people at ESPN know they just can't say anything yet. And he works at, like, Showtime or something like that, like, on their basketball, like, I don't know. On that podcast he does with Lance Stevenson.
Yeah.
Rachel Nichols was on today. You see that? She was on the podcast. She's talking about her whole. Yeah. It was an interesting watch.
It's interesting how Rachel Nichols hasn't been investigated for what happened in the bubble.
Stop. You gotta stop, bro.
Bro, like, I'm serious, bro. There should be an investigation on that. Like, that's a serious rumor.
Yeah. You know, you're right. You're right, dog. You're right.
I am right.
It's a serious. I don't know, man. Jimmy Butler was playing really well. We got a lot of kids listening to this podcast, dog. got a lot of kids listening to this podcast. Anyway,
let's talk about Pat Bev.
You want to talk about Pat Bev? There's more. Let me.
Fine.
Listen. Okay. We need to talk about how it's going to affect the Celtics, because they're like a team without a head coach now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah. So the Celtics, after coming off a pretty spectacular finals run, would you say so, Ennes? A pretty spectacular finals run?
It was unexpected, but yes, it was spectacular.
Those Eastern Conference finals, very spectacular, you know?
Yeah.
Remember when Jimmy Butler bricked that shot? It's crazy.
I do remember that.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Crazy stuff.
All right, yeah. Okay, how will this affect the Celtics, though?
Okay, so you lose your head coach. Cry, Celtics fans, cry. At least for a year. My bad. I don't like the Celtics. And Joe Mazzulla, I believe his name is the new replacement. I'm not exactly sure what his role on the team was before. The guy that was probably going to take over is now in Utah because Danny Ainge snatched him away because of his prior connections in Boston. I think he was initially set to, if Udoka was to get like suspended out of a game or not ejected out of a game, he would be the guy to take over. But now it would be Mr. Joe Mazzulla. I don't exactly know. Like, I'm not exactly sure his basketball past or history like that. This is all relatively recent news, so I mean, like, yeah. I do think the Celtics will, in essence, be the same team. Obviously, there's a little bit of roster turnover with Malcolm Brogdon joining the team. Danilo Gallinari did tear his ACL, so he's not going to be playing this season. But, yeah, like, I think there is going to be something missing, though. Like, you've seen that meme, right, of him talking in Jaylen Brown's ear?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you're not going to have moments like that because you built this team up with this coach, regardless of what he did, like, not regarding basketball, and how you would view that. Like, if you ever, like remember when they were, like, below 500 in February? Not only February, but in, like, December. And they, like, turned it around and it became, like, the number 2 seed in the East. You couldn't do that without the coach that you have. So not having that coach, if you get stuck in, like, a 5-game losing streak, or you're at home and you're not winning games, like, I don't know if Joe Mazzulla is going to be that guy. There's still a lot of talent on this team to the point where I still think they're one of the best teams in the East. I don't think that's up for contention. I think health might be an issue, though. But Al Horford's getting older. But Robert Williams also keeps getting surgery. It's really confusing. But I do think they're going to be a good team. I just like think about this, Ennis. Like Game 6 against Milwaukee, Jason Tatum has a crazy game. Conference semifinals. I don't think if you have a coach who's not going to motivate you, like the right coach that knows you, knows how to push your buttons, knows how to get you going, like into that state of mind. Buttons, chill.
Bro,
we are not moving like Jason Kidd.
You said buns.
I said buttons. We need a transcript for the show immediately. Immediately.
Bro, I promise you said buns.
Crazy. You're crazy.
Nah, wait,
You're
what?
wild.
You said you need a coach to push your buns?
You know what? Maybe he did push his buns. You never know what's going on in those locker rooms.
Hey,
anyway, you never know. You never know. But, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you've got a coach.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to push you in the right ways. Pause.
That's true.
But, like, he knows, like if you need a game in this, like, if you, like, universe is on, like, remember that Max Kellerman interview? Universe is on the line. Aliens are pointing a death beam on you. If you needed somebody to get you, like, a speech before you played this game against the aliens, you'd probably have it be that coach. So if that coach isn't there, then they present some problems down the line during a playoff run or something like that. But then again, I've never been in an NBA locker room, so I'm kind of just making all this up. But yeah, I do think this might hurt them, especially, like with all the things I just talked about. No more especiallys. With all the things I just talked about.
Yeah.
Ennis, what are your thoughts on how the Celtics are going to do this season without their head coach?
To be honest, like, regular season, I don't think it's going to affect them that much because they still kind of have the same team, or an even better team, actually, because they added some really good players, or player. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to affect them much in the regular season. I think they'll still be able to be like a top 4 seed in the East. But come playoff time, I think that's where it's going to be an issue because coaches make a name for themselves in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's like
facts.
In the playoffs, they really need that type of coach like Ime Udoka, who excelled last year in the playoffs. Even though it was his first time being there, he got him to the championship. Coaches really make a huge difference in the playoffs. So I think that's where it's going to be a real issue there. I don't think they're going to go far this year in the East. And it's partly because of this. I think it's partly because of this. And I don't think they have really good player coaches who can kind of fill that role. But yeah, that's what I think. I want to talk about the Pat Bev trade right now, bro. I'm itching to talk about this.
Why, bro? I don't want to talk about this team, dog. They're bad.
Dude, bro, you never want to talk about the Lakers, bro. We got to talk about them.
No! This is not a Lakers podcast. It's an NBA podcast.
Yes, but
God.
the NBA podcast need to talk about the Lakers. Every single episode, every 10 minutes we need to mention them.
They're so bad.
Bro.
Okay.
Fine. 5 minutes. 5 minutes on Pat Bev. That's all I'm giving you. 5 minutes. We're maxing out at 5.
Okay, fine. All right, so Patrick Beverley has been traded to the Lakers, and the Lakers traded Helen Horton-Tucker and Stanley Johnson. I think this was a good move for the Lakers because they needed someone like Pat Bev, and they never really had that. Like, each team has a Pat Bev. Like the Celtics, like championship teams have to have a Pat Bev type player.
You're Marcus Smart, you're Draymond Greens. Yeah.
Draymond Greens, yeah, exactly. I think Patrick Beverley can be that type of player for the Lakers. However, even though he did shoot well last season, I don't think he's obviously going to be a victim of the Laker curse, which is every shooter who comes to the Lakers just stops shooting and stops shooting well. And then once they leave the Lakers, they automatically play amazing. So I think he's going to be a victim of the Laker curse, even though he shot well last season. He's not really known to be a good shooter, and that's really what we need right now. But, like, I mean, it's a good pickup. If we could get him, then we could get him. But I'm also really sad about Stanley Johnson. Not as
Love
much
Stanley
about
Johnson.
THT because like you know.
No, hey,
THT
no, we
was-
don't miss THT. Keep your
Yeah.
stay in Utah. Stay in Utah.
Bro.
Stay in Utah.
Utah.
Stay in Utah. We don't
no,
want you here.
Stanley Johnson really grew on me, bro. Like last year, towards the beginning of the season, like towards the end of the season, I mean, he was playing really well.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a game where he literally started a run for us that got us back into a game, and I was like, bro, when Stanley Johnson is leading a run to get us back into a game, that's just it's amazing, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. But when you have LeBron on the court and Russ, but like no, I love Stanley Johnson. He played great defense. He could shoot sometimes. He was a great attacker, finisher. He was just a really good like player for us, and I don't think we had to give him up. I mean, we didn't even want to trade THT for Kyle Lowry, so I don't know. But yeah, overall I think the Lakers did. I mean, this was just a good move for them because Pat Bev is Pat Bev, and we need a Pat Bev, like I said before. But yeah,
I mean, I don't hate the trade. I think Pat Bev is really good at what Pat Bev does. I think that's kind of like I was talking about this earlier. That's why he has a job. Pat Bev has kind of created like this area for himself where every team in the league, at least like he's getting older now, but at least like till he's like 35, like he's gonna have a job, because he does what he does. I don't think he'll fall victim to the Lakers shooter curse just simply because he's not really a shooter. I say this, and he's going to shoot 29% from three. But
for real.
No, but I think he takes 4 attempts a game. It's not like anything crazy. Did you see him in training camp though? His transition pull-up three, that was wild. That was crazy. I don't know.
Did you also see Bleacher Report post like this video Lakers bricking in practice?
Oh yeah, that was.
It was like two missed shots and like one blocked layup.
Yeah, that was.
Bro, what? How was that breaking into practice?
Yeah. I'm still not sure what Kendrick Nunn's plan was, though. I don't exactly.
Kendrick, oh my god, I'm so excited for Kendrick Nunn.
No, wait,
Kendrick
stop
Nunn
this.
is gonna be so good.
Stop. We're not excited for Kendrick Nunn. No,
bro, people forget he averaged 18 on the Heat. He was nice on the Heat.
That must have been like 8 years ago. I haven't seen him play.
That was like 2 years ago.
This dude's been in hibernation. Like I don't know where he's been. Like
bro's been out for a year with a bone bruise.
I know he hit his knee on his table and he said, "Nah, I'm out for this season." Like, come on.
No, I'm really hopeful for Kendrick Nunn, and like if he can be that guy where he can just be a consistent shooter, can bring up the ball when LeBron's tired. I think, bro,
everyone.
That is
we have like 8 6'3" point guards in the team, bro.
That's like, why, bro. That's why
we have Russ.
Getting traded.
We have Dennis Schroeder. We have Pat Bev. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, they picked him up.
Yeah, he sucks.
Solid
man.
pickup.
No, he's bad.
He doesn't suck. He doesn't suck.
He's bad.
He doesn't suck.
He is bad at basketball.
He can offer some value.
As a
not $84 million though. Some value.
Oh my god! I've never in my life have I ever seen a fumble that bad. Oh my goodness gracious! It's like you have it in your hands. You're Dennis Schroeder. You're not gonna get $84 million again. Please, we're all begging you to take it. Not the Lakers salary cap is not begging you to take it. No, they were not. But
Laker fans, we're not begging either. Laker fans were hating, dude. I can't believe how. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about our fan base, but like, bro, some people.
No, talk bad. We're the worst. No, we're the worst.
Some people in our fan base are just like so ungrateful and toxic.
Facts.
Like, people were so many people were hating on Schroeder when he was playing with us, and he was like, I mean, he didn't play defense, but I mean, he was solid. He hit threes sometimes. He was like a good ball handler for us. He got our offense moving sometimes. He wasn't like a bad player. He was just a role player. Like, he is what he is. But people were hating on him. And now that he's back, you were like, oh, solid pickup for the Lakers.
Well, I think part of it was like he was coming off his best season in Oklahoma City as like a Sixth Man of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
And then he became our starting point guard, and it wasn't really there. Like he was good in the regular season, but it's hard to thrive as like a point guard on a LeBron team. Like poor Mario Chalmers. Like
Yeah.
Mario Chalmers, man. No, but it's not just him either. Like it's when you're playing LeBron ball, it's hard to be a primary ball handler that's like not named Kyrie Irving. So it becomes a bit difficult. I don't entirely blame him. I do think he's a good player, as much as I'll like talk bad about him. I do think he's a good player. And I do think he can provide some value. I just think there's such a clog jam. Well, that's not the right word. There's such a log jam at the point guard position. And they're all like under six. They're like all under 6'2", besides Russ, who's like 6'6". So I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what Robbie's plan is. I don't know what Mr. Pelinka's plan is. Mr. Pelinka's really good at one thing, and that's finding white guys who can hoop out of nowhere. That's like the one thing he's really good at.
That's true. That's true.
But besides that, I'm not entirely impressed with his resume of work. The Anthony Davis trade, in hindsight, we won a championship. I'm never going to take that away from us. Like that's what the whole goal of being an NBA team is. You want to win championships, unless you're like the Indiana Pacers, then you never want to do anything.
Damn. Dang.
But now, like we won a championship. But in hindsight, you've lost some of these assets that have become some really good players in the league, and you've lost all these first round picks, and I mean like all these I think there's still 2 more to go. And New Orleans just picking up guys. And even if you don't draft these guys, it's still a massive asset the Lakers don't have. Obviously, we have Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis has been in the hospital for 2 years. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know, Ennes. I'm not super excited about this season.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm hopeful in the fact that we will be better than last season, and I'm pretty confident in that. I think we will be better. But I mean, with Russ on this team, it's gonna be tough. I mean, like, I don't have any disrespect towards Russ, but it won't work. It just there's no way to make this work with Russ.
I don't think so.
Even if we just even if we looked at this roster right now and took out Russ, we'd be better instantly.
I don't think that's true. I still think Russ can be a net. I still think Russ can be a net positive on an NBA team. I don't think we're at the point where, let me think. I need to think of a bad player. Give me a second. We're not at Toronto Raptors Hakeem Olajuwon status here. I don't think we're that bad. I don't think Russ is that bad. He's still a okay.
He's not. He's not.
He's not what?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but our big three is not gonna work together. Old LeBron.
Hey! Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth when you talk about LeBron.
Bro, LeBron is still amazing. Averaged 30 last year, but he's not he has to hand the reins to someone else, and that someone else is supposed to be AD. But I don't know. We'll see this season though. AD could prove everyone wrong. I hope he does. I really hope he does. But
didn't he say doesn't he constantly say he has nothing to prove though?
As long as Russ, AD.
Yeah, he says that in every interview. I won a championship. I got nothing to prove. Yeah, bro, you got a lot to prove, dog.
Okay.
Yeah, keep them ankles tight, dog. Come on now. You got a lot to prove.
Dang. Yeah. No, but I've kept the same mentality. If they don't trade Russ, it's just there's no hope. There's no hope for a championship. There's hope for maybe a second round.
Bro, you think this is a
third round?
Do you think this is a championship quality roster? You just straight if we cut Russ, took all the money on his contract, do you think it's a championship level roster?
Yes, I do.
You're lying. You're lying.
100%.
Stop it. Stop.
I'm not, bro.
You are. This team is bad, Ennes.
It's not.
This team is bad. Ennes, this team is horrible. We're going to be playing Max Christie 25 minutes a game. This is going to be bad.
No.
This is horrible. It's a disaster. Let's look at quick.
Okay, wait. Listen.
We always do this.
Didn't everyone?
We talk too much.
This is my point. Listen. Let me look up something.
What are we looking at?
Look at this. Didn't everyone say our 2020 roster was full of bums?
It was.
Our 2020 roster on paper looked so bad.
It is bad. It was a bad
team. No, it wasn't, bro. It turned out to be a solid team with
good role players. It was an okay team. Dwight
It was a great team.
Dwight overproduced. KCP was good. Caruso came out of nowhere. I don't think... and we were playing with them. We were doing the minimum thing again. We were paying guys on minimums, and then we can't keep them the next year. Okay, it's not a sustainable plan.
It's not sustainable, but that time it worked because everything just went right and everything clicked. I mean, the people that are on our roster right now that I'm looking at from 2020, it just doesn't look good on paper. But everything just worked that year.
In 2020, it was a lot better than it is now.
AD wasn't injured and playing amazing. No, but that's what I'm saying. On paper, 2020, everyone was saying we didn't have good role players to win a championship. We didn't have like the best role players. Everyone was saying the Clippers had a better team, better role players, which they did on paper, but they didn't click well like the Lakers did. The Lakers clicked in 2020. Like everything went right in 2020 for them.
Yeah, and we won a championship.
Played amazing in the playoffs. Markieff Morris was a solid role player for us. JaVale McGee played great, and that's why he was able to secure a contract with the Suns, partly because he played great in the championship run. Kuzma didn't even play bad. I'm not saying that. Howard locked up Jokic. Locked up Jokic. Yes, he did, bro. He was a big reason why we won that series. Danny Green, even though he wasn't shooting amazing, he played like okay. Alex Caruso, oh my god. KCP, oh my goodness. Avery Bradley, he wasn't in the bubble, but regular season he played well. I forgot about Schroeder. Wait, no, he wasn't on that team.
He wasn't on that team.
Okay, yeah. So on paper, that team was bad.
Where are they now, though?
It was bad.
It was not bad.
I'm not talking about now, though.
In 2020, they were good. They weren't a great roster, but it was like we had Caruso could shoot, KCP could shoot. We had lineups that we could put on the floor that were capable. We're going to be putting Lonnie Walker and Wenyen Gabriel on the same floor.
Okay, if you looked at the 2020 roster,
my dad didn't know who Lonnie Walker was. I had to explain to him who he was.
Bro, okay. If you looked at the 2020 roster before the season started, what would you think of the roster?
The 2020 season? I remember what I thought. I thought we were an okay team. I thought the Clippers looked better, but I think AD and LeBron were still the best duo in the league. So I think none of it really mattered. I think if AD stays healthy and LeBron stays healthy, I still think the Lakers can beat any other team.
Does that stay true to right now?
No, LeBron's older and AD has no ankles and no legs and no shins and no arms, no collarbone.
Yeah, but you're saying if they're both on the court.
They're both on the court.
If AD's not injured.
Both on the court. I don't know. Like if LeBron kicks out, is Max Christie going to make an open three? I don't know.
Bro, Max Christie's not going to get playing time. What are you saying?
Juan Toscano-Anderson isn't going to make any open threes.
Oh my god, bro. We got Kendrick Nunn.
Kendrick Nunn's going to hit.
Beverley,
Kendrick Nunn's going to hit his.
Bryant.
Kendrick Nunn might hit his door on the way to the practice arena, and he might be out for the season again. It's not like a. Nah. This isn't. This is the most unsure. This is better. Okay, I'll say this. This is better than last year's roster.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. It's better than last year's roster. I don't think that's the question. I think defensively there's going to be a lot more juice. I think there's a lot of... I hope Phil Handy gets a bigger, a more prominent role within the scheme of the team. He's a really good coach that can provide... Especially the younger players in the team. I think he can provide a lot to them. I didn't love any of our signings. I don't like the Troy Brown Jr. signing still. Dwayne Bacon is currently on the team. We're not going to mention that, though. Jay Huff is probably our backup center. Actually, no, he's not our backup center.
No, he's not.
Shut up. I misspoke. Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones are going to be our center rotation. Austin Reeves is good. We still have too many point guards. JTA said he's going to be guarding the Kawhis of the world this season. That's the most ridiculous, outlandish thing I've ever heard. He's not going to be guarding Kawhi if we're playing Kawhi. Lonnie Walker, like, just the big question about Lonnie Walker is it ever going to happen? Is it ever going to happen with Lonnie Walker? Because usually when young players come to the Lakers, they get worse. So I don't know what the developmental system is going to be for Lonnie Walker. I don't know what's going on in this. I don't know what the plan is. Like, I looked at every other team. Before we did this, I looked at the other teams in the West. Like, I would prefer to be a Rockets fan right now.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, the Rockets actually look pretty good. But, yeah. The Rockets, I think, actually, they probably have a better team than us.
I think... What?
Yeah. Are you disagreeing? They have better players than us.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm being serious. Like no joke. You have Jabari, you have Jalen, you have Kevin Porter, you have Sengun. Like, those are better than every other. Okay, we exclude AD, who's not going to play. I'm being serious. AD's not going to play this season. And LeBron, who hasn't. I don't like to say this, but he hasn't been healthy in 2 years. Like, he hasn't played a full season in 2 years. Like, I love LeBron with all my heart. The day LeBron retires, I'm going to start balling on the floor. But LeBron hasn't played a healthy season in 2 years. I don't expect him to play another.
Man's averaged 30.
He played 30 on 50 games. That's not.
He doesn't need to play in the regular season, bro.
He doesn't need to play.
All that matters.
We're going to lose every game, and we're going to lose every single game if he doesn't play.
No. He'll play the same amount of game. He'll play the same amount of games as last year. We'll be fine. All we need to do, make the playoffs, and then we'll start trying.
You think this team with AD and Russ can stay afloat?
Just low advantage.
Remember that game where Reggie Jackson started skipping across the floor, and then he hit a game winner on us? Yeah, that was fun stuff, huh? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen this year.
Okay, but listen, one thing I can I'm hopeful about is our defensive potential. I think if Russ tries on defense, him and Patrick Beverley up top, and then AD, if he plays like he did in 2020, and then Thomas Bryant, who's a solid defender, whew, man. Austin Reeves, also solid wing defender.
Whoa, slow down.
I think we have.
We can't say solid wing defender yet for Austin Reeves.
Okay, not solid. Yeah. Maybe like up and coming.
Up and coming
defender.
Can we do the redraft? Let's do the redraft.
Hey, yeah, let's do the redraft. Hey,
25.
How many minutes did you say? We're going to talk about the Lakers?
25 wins. Book it.
How many minutes did you say we were going to talk about the Lakers, though?
I said 5. What do we do?
19 or something?
Oh, my God, bro.
19 or 20?
I'm quitting the podcast.
See, this is why I love talking about the Lakers, man. It brings so much passion in me.
Bro, we're becoming a Dallas Mavericks podcast.
Be hopeful.
We're talking about the Dallas Mavericks next week. We're done with the Lakers.
No.
This is too much.
Dude, we're talking about the Lakers every podcast. I guarantee it. Whether you like it or not, it'll find some way into our conversation.
I don't like it, bro. Like, I don't like this team.
Let's talk about the redraft.
Legitimately, like, I have there's something within my heart that prevents me from liking this roster. It's just.
I'll always be hopeful, bro. I'll always have hope. All right, let's talk about the redraft.
Ennes can't see me on the camera right now, but I'm nodding no. He's gonna see it, and he's gonna see it, but
oh no,
I'm nodding no. Yeah, I'm not hopeful. Not hopeful.
All right, it's all right. Okay, let's do the redraft. Okay, so we are going to be redrafting the 2016 NBA draft. If you guys don't remember, this was the draft when Ben Simmons got selected first overall. Obviously, we're probably going to change that in our redraft. But let's start with number 10 and then go down number 1. How about that? Or do you want to start with number 1?
Why don't you? We'll do You go your number 1. I'll go my number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1.
I think I know what it is. I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
All right, what's yours?
Well, give me your reasoning. Why is Jaylen Brown number 1? We're
Okay.
professional podcasts, and it's come on now.
No, I just wanted to hear yours and then say
Okay.
my thing.
Okay.
No, but I'll say it. Okay. So I chose Jaylen Brown because he has proven the most out of everyone
Cap.
in this draft, and especially last year, he took a huge jump. He's the only, or actually, never mind. But he's one of the only, or he's the only person on this list besides Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam who have been to the NBA Finals. Who's been to the NBA Finals? He's played really well on defense. Last year, his points per game jumped tremendously. Like everything jumped a lot last year. And if we did this redraft like before last year, I think I might have a different list. But last year, he's kind of cemented himself into one of the better players in the league. And I think he's just better than everyone in this draft.
I mean, that's all I gotta say.
Jaylen Brown is not my number one overall pick. Big surprise. Well, firstly, he has small hands and he can't dribble. But that's besides the point. Nah, he has
gotta
small
add the small hands
Bro,
part,
because if you have small hands, you can't dribble. That's just the way it is. Like, have you ever seen... I've never seen Ismail do nothing crazy with his handle. It's because Ismail has small hands. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude, he has like huge hands. What are you talking about?
Bro, I'm just catching strays for Ismail's just going to catch strays, to be honest. That's just what's going to happen.
No, he actually has huge hands, though. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I know,
like,
bro.
His hands are so...
No, but okay, but it's like a scientifically proven thing. If you have small hands, it's a lot harder to dribble.
All right.
Like Michael Jordan had huge hands.
Continue though.
Kawhi's got big hands. It's Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's the first pick. Okay, there can be a lot of controversy that surrounds Brandon Ingram being a number one pick. Brandon Ingram deserves to be number one because he's the best player on the list. Actually, I don't think he's the best player on the list.
What?
Bro, you're gonna be so mad at where Jaylen Brown is on my list.
Oh my god, you don't have a number
Number 2? Oh my god. Are you serious? Bro, just because he can't dribble doesn't mean he's a good player.
Can't dribble.
He is the best player in this draft, and he's proven the most in this draft.
He's got
out of all the players.
Listen, he can't dribble. That's
Brandon, bro. Where is Brandon Ingram gone?
The playoffs.
I know, but like, I know he has a bad team, but
he's got Zion this year. He's the one. He's the one.
Yes, I mean, bro, this year if he takes him somewhere, you know,
maybe I'll put him at number 1. But I mean, Brandon, there's no world where someone says Brandon Ingram is better than Jaylen Brown. There's no universe where someone says that.
As a better player, yeah, that shouldn't even be up for discussion. He is a better player than Jaylen Brown. I would rather have Brandon Ingram on my team.
I disagree.
How you not have him at number 2 though? How you not have Jaylen Brown number 2?
I have another guy at number 2 who I think is better.
There's no way you got Pascal Siakam
at number 2 though. It's probably Pascal Siakam, isn't it? Nah.
Maybe. Oh, listen. Brandon Ingram, I'm gonna be real dumb and ESPN-y about this.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram is a better playmaker than Jaylen Brown. Can we agree on that? I think Brandon Ingram sees more on the court. I think he can do more secondary reads. I think he's a better pick and roll creator than Jaylen Brown is. I don't think Jaylen Brown is especially patient in pick and rolls. I do think Jaylen is a very capable driver, but I do think he doesn't have a lot of pop going left as he does going right, which we saw in that finals run where the Warriors kind of took away his left at times and he was like unable to explode. But he was there's ways to get around it. He's a smart player, and more than anything, he's like a really smart dude. I'm talking about Jaylen Brown right now, even though I'm supposed to be talking about Brandon Ingram. I do think Jaylen Brown's really good. Like, don't get this list twisted. I think he's really good. I don't think the Celtics make the finals with any of these other guys on their team. I think Jaylen Brown, as an off-ball defender, needs a lot of work. I think he's not super aware of what's going on when he's not individually guarding the guy with the ball in his hands. But when he is, he's really good. I would prefer to have Brandon Ingram, who I am sure can create his own shot at all times, has a ton of separation. He has like a high release point. Like, it's just offensively, like I think I would rather like if I was the Oklahoma City Thunder, I took Shea off the team. I would rather have. No, this is a stupid argument. This is dumb. I would rather have Brandon Ingram. It is what it is. I don't think he's as good of a defender as Jaylen Brown is, but I think what he makes up for that is the fact that he's a better playmaker. And obviously, there's a lot of juice on that Pelicans offense that he's able to use off of. But the same can be said for Jaylen Brown. Like CJ is not generating as much attention as as Jason Tatum is. So, yeah, I would rather have Brandon Ingram. He's my number one pick.
Right. Number 2, I got Brandon Ingram.
Valid pick.
Is valid. I mean, like you said, he's a great playmaker. He's shown flashes of being a really good player. He was an all-star. Yeah, I mean, I think this year, especially with the team that I think he has a way better team this year than he has in any of his previous years. I think if he can go far with this team, I mean, not like far, like
they're not making the finals
far,
yeah.
But if he can if he can prove something this season and kind of prove himself, I think it'll be a huge step for him. I think this season is going to be a huge step for Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. How old is he now? Is he 27? He's getting a bit old.
Ingram age. He is 25.
25. This draft class is getting kind of old. I'm not saying that like I'm. Well, okay. Also, I want to point out because I know a couple people even say this. I do think his 32% from 3 is a bit of an anomaly. The 2 years before that, he shot very well from 3. I think he took a lot. It was a lot of volume this year. And 3-point shooting with somebody like Brandon Ingram who takes such a high volume, it can be a bit volatile on what his percentage is year to year. I think he is a good 3-point shooter though. Very silky, very very silky player. Not like I think it's different. I think not like KD. I think KD plays. I think they play kind of different. Like the way they get their shots off is a lot more different than like Ingram will use a lot of Euro steps. He gets to the basket a lot more than KD does. But yeah. Oh, well, who's your third pick? Wait. My second pick, right?
Yeah, the second pick.
Jaylen Brown. I already kind of talked about Jaylen Brown, but he's my second pick. I think Jaylen's really good.
Oh wait, I thought you had him lower.
I'm just kidding. No, he's. I was messing with you, but I do think he is really good. I don't think he's ever going to become a 1A guy on a championship team. I think Jason Tatum has just a ton of potential.
Yep. I mean, him and Jason can make it work for sure. I could see winning a championship together.
I think they can.
With the right pieces, with the right coach.
I could see. I could see it.
Yeah, no, they might not have the right coach for a while though. Not for a while.
All right, third pick. I got the one and only Pascal Siakam.
Oh, for real?
I do.
I got a different pick than you.
Okay. Pascal Siakam, he kind of showed how good he was in that championship run along with Kawhi. Last year, I feel like he was kind of underrated.
Oh, definitely. I thought he should have been All-NBA last year over Braun.
Yeah, I feel like
People didn't really notice him last year. He was averaging the most points he's ever averaged, or he tied with the 2020 year, because 2020 averaged 22.9. This year he averaged 22.8. But scoring wise, he played great. He was averaging 8.5 rebounds a game, 5.3 assists per game. That's a nice stat line. I think that he's underappreciated, and I don't think he could be the best player on a championship team, but I do think that he's better than any of these guys on this list, and he has a championship. Like, you can't discredit him for that. Even though Kawhi was on that team with him, he definitely played great that season. Yeah, I mean, he has a championship to show for it. He's proven a lot in the league, but he still has a lot more to prove. And I think Yeah, I just think he's better than everyone on this list. Like, there's no one who can. I mean, there's like two players who you could make an argument for, but I'm putting him at number 3.
At my number 3, I have. You're not gonna like this, Ennes. I have Ben Simmons.
Oh my goodness!
Listen, I know he hasn't hooped in a while. Actually, it's been more than a while. And last time we saw him hoop, it didn't look so good. And I'm very concerned, I think, about his injury stuff. He was on the JJ Redick podcast, which I didn't like that episode at all, by the way. I'm not saying this just because like it felt like nothing was said, like at all. It was just kind of like, oh, me and Ben are friends. Ben didn't do anything wrong. Like that's what the whole episode felt like. Which is a lot of the show. But like a lot of the times they'll talk about like certain stories and stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't like that episode. But like he said he had some like back issues are just like the most concerning thing in sports. Like he said he had his whole back thing with Brooklyn, and like I don't know, man. Like it's been such a weird year, like for this dude. I don't like.
Yeah.
I just picked him 3rd overall. I should be gassing him up right now. Okay, let's start doing that. Anyways,
yeah,
Ben
like,
Simmons,
why 3rd?
before we got to the weird, like, kind of, like, year that he had, was a top 3 candidate in Defensive Player of the Year. That's no joke. And listen, the reason I like Ben so much is just, like, he's so uber switchable. Like, you can't X's and O's him out of a play a lot of the time just because whatever you want to do pick and roll wise, like, whether, like, if you try to, like, I don't want to get too nerdy because we're in the off season right now. Like, I don't want to, like, start, like, mentioning plays. I won't do it then. Okay. Like, Ben can switch onto, like, any 5 guys. And, like, he can also play the 5 if you need him to. You can get a transition thing going. Obviously, he's 6'9". Or is he 6'10"? I think he's 6'10", actually. He's 6'10". And no, I don't think he's ever going to shoot threes. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't really care. Like, that's kind of the player that he is. That's what you got. Like I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know who messed him up to the point where he doesn't want to take shots anymore. I have so many questions, Ennes, about, like, what happened in, like, 2017 to 2018 in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like, Markelle Fultz forgot how to shoot. Ben Simmons refuses how to shoot. Like, Robert Covington was there. Like, that's just a big question already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, there should be a Netflix doc about that. Like, what happened? Like,
what
in
happened
Philly.
to all the shooters?
Yeah, like they had their 7-1 like center is really good at shooting, but the rest of the team sucks. A lot of questions there, guys. I don't know. I think you guys actually did it in reverse. That's not how basketball's supposed to work. But yeah, I like Ben, man. Like, I really like. I think he can do some things, and like when he's not just sitting in the dunker spot, like the entire game. I think he can do a lot. Like, I think as a pick and roll, not just a pick and roll creator, which he also can do, but as a pick and roll, like as a screener. Like, I'm already thinking about what him and Kai and Kevin can do, like just within those types of things. And also, like, if you, like, Ennes, think about this: if you had Ben at the 5, or you had Nick Claxton at the 5, you have 800 more options. Once, like, Kevin gets the okay. I'm doing it again. All right. Well, we're only going to talk about this once. Okay. High ball screen, top of the key. Kevin goes up. They shut up. They trap him. He dumps it off to Ben. Ben is there. There's a big man standing in front of him. He is not in. He's standing right in front of him, and he has a couple options. Oh my God, bro, this is so bad. This is the season hasn't even started yet. I'm already doing this.
Come on.
Okay, listen. Ben can give you 800 different options there. He can go up strong. He can finish at the rim. He could fake the big man out. He could get you with the dump-off pass. Also, if the guy from the weak side corner comes in, he's got the kick-out pass. He is a very smart player. He doesn't take threes and stuff like that, but he can do a lot of stuff. He can do a lot of stuff. And I think that's kind of why I have him so high, like in the redraft, is because of the versatility he provides. Otherwise, I would probably have the guy who's after him over him. But I think Ben can do so much. Yeah, I was being real non-specific about that. So,
okay. Okay. So regardless of all the injuries, regardless of all the drama around him, if I was judging him based like just on a player, just like as like how good he plays, I don't think his. I mean, he plays phenomenal defense. Like everyone could agree to that, but I don't think his defense makes up for his lack of
on-ball creation,
offensive capabilities.
Okay, better word.
I do think that everyone else that I ranked over him, they are just so good on offense where I can't just put them under Ben Simmons. I just can't. Even though Ben Simmons is such a good defender, there are guys on above him who play phenomenal offensively, and they're also pretty good defenders. So, in terms of like this list, I just can't put him over those players, because like with Ben Simmons, he's gonna give you great defense, but offensively, you don't really know what he's gonna do.
That's not true.
But,
you know exactly what he's going to do. He doesn't take threes. He's really good in transition. He's a really good playmaker, and that's kind of all you need to know.
He's not.
It's
He's not a really good playmaker, bro.
Bro, the book is wide open on Ben Simmons. What do you mean he's not a really good playmaker?
He's not. He's not a good playmaker, bro.
He's not?
No.
You've been watching the wrong Ben Simmons. I don't like to point out assist numbers.
He's just not that good on offense. He's
not that good on offense?
Yes.
How can a guy who averages 18 points not be good on offense?
I mean, that's just like...
That's just what? That's just fast breaks? There's not even 9 fast breaks in a game. Like...
He's not like to the... I mean, I'm just comparing him with the other people on this list. Obviously, he's not better than the other people offensively.
It's because he doesn't take threes. Bro.
His defense doesn't make up for it.
Ennes, if you saw Ben Simmons consistently take like a pull-up midi and drop coverage, would you consider him to be a better player? Like, instead of just getting a bucket at the rim? Like, the way he gets his buckets isn't super appealing to the eyes. Like,
I mean,
I think me and you both fall into the category of like, we like our bucket getters, like to have a little bit of juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want it to be fun when we watch our favorite players play. And Ben Simmons on offense doesn't always have that. Like, so it can kind of lead to a misconception that he's not great on offense or a great playmaker because he's not doing he's not making the LeBron passes, like, per se, but he's a really good playmaker, not just as a pick and roll ball handler, but as a pick and roll screener, and also what he can do in transition. In the half court, it does get a bit stagnant when he has to stay in the dunker spot because he can't shoot threes, or when you push him out to the perimeter and you kick it out and then he tries to drive and kick and it just becomes a whole circle, then the shot clock's over. I get that. But that's not all of what basketball is. So you have to consider the other things that he can provide.
I see what you're saying, but I think that everyone else I have above him, they play great defense and offense.
He plays
and
great
Simmons
defense and
doesn't
offense, though.
play. What?
He plays great defense and offense.
Bro, you can't say he plays great offense.
Because he doesn't take threes?
He just doesn't. No, that's not all why.
Okay, well, half of basketball is defense then.
Yeah, that's true. But all right, let me just say my fourth pick.
All right, fine.
Who did you put? Oh yeah, okay, Ben Simmons. Okay, number 4. I put Jamal Murray.
Whoa!
Jamal Murray, baby. Yes, sir.
Okay,
My boy.
Ennes.
People forgot about this man.
Ennes, you said that Colin Sexton and Donovan Mitchell were 1A, 1B. What does that make Jamal Murray? 1Z? Nah, bro. Nah.
Actually, hold on. Let me change. I'm gonna change my pick.
Can I put a different Murray in?
I knew you were gonna do this.
Can I put a different Murray in, bro?
You can put the other Murray.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I changed my pick because
he had nothing to say.
Because
he had nothing to say. There was no argument.
No, because it goes along with what I was saying about Ben Simmons.
Oh,
So
here we go.
I'm putting DeJounte Murray at number 4.
Hey, wait, hey,
Because-
DeJounte can't make threes either.
Certainly better than Ben Simmons, though. Come on, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
but I don't
Come on,
want
come on, come
DeJounte
on.
taking a three in crunch time.
DeJounte can handle the ball better. He's a better playmaker. He can shoot better, and he can play defense.
Ennes. He is not a better playmaker than. Wait. List everything you said. He's not a better ball handler either.
But yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh my god.
He is not. All right, lights back on.
DeJounte Murray's a way better ball handler.
Cap.
Come on now.
Way better? Why?
Come on now.
Why are we lying to the people? The people we serve. Why are we lying to them? They're going to go to their homes, to their families, telling lies. Because this is not the truth. This is not. This is. Oh, I can't.
DeJounte is who if you were starting a franchise, who would you rather have on your team, Ben Simmons or DeJounte Murray?
Ben Simmons.
Oh come on.
Don't lie to yourself.
Ben
Don't lie to
Simmons.
yourself.
Bro,
Don't lie to yourself.
DeJounte got whooped by a rookie in a pickup game. I don't want him on my team. I don't want him on my team at all. At all. That's just what it is.
Okay, yeah.
DeJounte Murray, like I said, offensive capabilities off the charts, defensive capabilities. He's a very capable defender. He could definitely get better. I think he has a lot of potential on defense.
DeJounte?
But yeah,
DeJounte's really good on defense.
he's really good, bro. He's so long
No, okay,
and
all right, stop it.
lengthy.
Okay.
and just slithery.
Okay, I'm not saying all that. But he was all defense like his second year. I think his defense is it's definitely been on the decline though. I think that'll go back up. It'll go back up in Atlanta. But in San Antonio, the more he had to handle the ball, the less he was just able to play defense. That's just how it works. So I think with Trae Young being there, his defensive heights will go to new levels.
Okay, who do you have at number 4?
I got Siakam.
Ooh. Siakam? Okay.
Yeah.
Solid.
I think Siakam's ready for a big year. I think Freddie's going to take a bit of a step back. As like a 6-foot point guard, they don't last super long in the league. And I love Freddie, but he got injured last year, and it was like, you know those injuries in us where you kind of just try to see like how long you can take it before it gets really bad. Like he did that, and ended up not being good, and then he wasn't very good for the rest of the year. And that can lead to more injuries down the line. You never want to like test your body like that. But I think Siakam's due for a big year. I think he's a really good player. I already kind of talked about this. So, yeah, he's my 4th pick.
Yeah. All right. 5th pick.
I had Jamal Murray. I switched him out. I had DeJounte there before. But like I said, Jamal Murray is just a really good playmaker. I think Jokic definitely helps with that for sure, but the Murray-Jokic pick and rolls are amazing.
Wait. Do you think that Jamal Murray is a better playmaker than Ben Simmons?
Okay, maybe not. But
oh my god, they're gonna cancel us, ass. They're gonna take us off the platform for this. This is nasty. This is nasty work. I gotta turn the light off again.
Jamal Murray.
I mean, yeah, Jamal Murray is just like his performance in 2020 in the playoffs kind of solidified himself.
That was like 8 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
You could say the same thing about Donovan Mitchell, but you didn't want to say that.
No, because Donovan Mitchell played last year. Like we saw how he did after the bubble. Jamal Murray didn't play at all last season, and
what do you mean
he got injured.
The year before that he did after the bubble.
Yeah, the year before that he did, but he didn't play that much. He only played
48 games.
That's more than half the season. That's a sizable sample size.
He didn't play
in like the last half of the season and the playoffs.
I know, but if we're using the 2020 bubble Jamal Murray as Jamal Murray, then Jamal Murray is Michael Jordan. Like, we cannot use this Western Conference series as, like, this is an outlier in his career, as they were shooting in an empty gym. Like, we just saw hoopers go out there and hoop. There was no pressure, no nerves. That's why Donovan Mitchell was averaging 48 points a series. We're not going to see that again. I don't think that can be used as a...
So are you discrediting the Lakers championship?
No.
Okay, so how's that different?
I'm saying we can't use it as a hallmark of like repeated performance. That's like, I don't think if the Lakers like go to a different, like, I don't think the Lakers, like, if 2021 they run it back same team, I don't know if they win or not. It's a different situation. That's how every championship team is, though. You can't take that out of context. Like, if the 2010 Lakers played against a healthy Kevin Garnett who didn't get injured the year before, you can do that with every team ever. This year just happened to happen. This happened to be in the bubble because there was a pandemic going on. It happens with every championship.
Yeah.
I don't think you can use a player who had an exceptional performance in a series with nobody in the arena as a value of their, like, AD has never been as good as he was in the bubble.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if the next season was a good sample size, like you're saying, then how he played was great.
Played great. He didn't play as good as Ben Simmons or all the other guys. Or yeah,
Ben Simmons
top
did not
All NBA player Ben Simmons. That guy, 2021, he played pretty well.
How the playoffs though?
Played pretty well until he passed the ball.
I mean, that whole series, he did not play pretty well.
Joel didn't play pretty well either.
We're not talking about Joel.
I know. I'm just saying everybody was bad. Like, I don't know. They forgot how to play against Clint Capella for some reason. Like, I don't know how you lost against the Atlanta Hawks. That still boggles my mind. I don't think one pass. I don't think one pass that Ben Simmons made. Like Doc Rivers and Joel talk about it like it ended their year. Like, Ben Simmons made one pass against Trae Young, and Matisse didn't even catch the ball. Like, obviously it was a really dumb play. Like, he should have just dunked the ball. But, like, it wasn't the end of your year. Joel, you played bad. Doc, you can't coach. Like, it wasn't like, let's not act like it was all Ben Simmons' fault. Ben Simmons didn't play the way he should have.
Yeah.
But no, because Ben Simmons made a dump off pass, like, right next to the basket. Doesn't change the trajectory of your season. If you think it does, then you're refusing to admit that you played bad and you coached bad. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons apologist. Never thought I'd be that guy, but apparently I am.
Who you got number 5?
Number 5? I don't even remember. I think I have DeJounte. Yeah, I have DeJounte 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, I got Ben Simmons. There you go.
That is ridiculous.
There you go.
I have fraud. You know what? I'm gonna do something crazy. Get Jamal off of 6. Sabonis is going 6. Jamal's going 7. Sabonis at 6.
Okay, I mean,
I'm only doing this to spite you. I'm literally only doing it to spite you.
Bro, I mean, like, to be honest,
I can't argue with that because I had, like, Sabonis and Murray, like, what's it called? They're like, I was debating where to put them, but I ended up putting them like 2 picks away.
Yeah.
But I really like Sabonis. Like, he's a really underrated big man in the league. I think that he was kind of his time in Indiana kind of brought out what he could do. Like, before, when he was on the Thunder, he didn't have a name for himself. No one really knew him, but I think his time in Indiana really helped him develop into the player that he is.
Yeah, he's also got some great chemistry with De'Aaron Fox. They got a thing going there.
Oh yeah,
in Sacramento, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Bro, I love Sabonis, man.
In fantasy, he's so good. He's
Oh, yeah.
so good in fantasy.
Good fantasy player. Yeah.
He's so good. But yeah, last season he averaged like 19 a game, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot 58 or 55% from the field. He's not a good like 3-point shooter, obviously, because he's a big man. He's not expected to be. But like around the rim, he has really nice touch around the rim. Post moves. He has really nice post moves. He's just a solid big man that you want. Yeah, I think he's gonna do. I think he'll do well in Sacramento with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I think last year.
I had him at number 7, by the way. After.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I like Sabonis. I don't think he ever deserved to be an All-Star. And he definitely always was the best player in Indiana. Miles Turner was definitely not ever as good as him, which I don't know if that's a hot take to say. But yeah.
Nah.
All right. Number 8, I got Fred VanVleet. Who you got?
8 out of Fred too.
Okay.
Bro, we have the same pick. Finally.
I know.
No way.
Just for clarity, everybody, he was not actually drafted. He was undrafted, but he did enter the draft this year. So that's the reason he's on the list. Like, teams could have drafted him if they wanted to, but they did not.
Yeah.
So
Bad take by all those teams, man.
yeah,
Can't
that's
believe he didn't.
L scouting department. Am I right?
All right, number 9, Malcolm Brogdon.
Same.
I have him there.
Same.
Okay. And then
Rookie
number
of
10.
the year, Malcolm Brogdon. Don't forget, Rookie of
For
the year,
real,
Malcolm Brogdon.
bro. People forget about that.
They'd be sleeping.
And bro, the Celtics got a nice pickup in Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah,
That was a nice pickup.
He doesn't break his foot today this season.
All right, number 10, my last pick.
Yeah.
I have. This was tough. But I have Karis LeVert.
I have Buddy Hield.
Yeah, I was deciding between those two.
I was debating between him and Dorian Finney-Smith. But the reason I picked him is because Buddy kind of showed that, like, he's had these weird games where he kind of shows he can be like a secondary playmaker, like he did his last couple like days in Indiana. Also a little bit in New Orleans. So yeah, that's why I picked him. But I think Dorian's the better player.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buddy Hield's 10.
All right, that is it.
All right.
I'll close it out. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Hoop Talk. Let us know if you enjoyed the video style podcast. If you guys are listening on audio right now, make sure to check out our video style podcast. It's gonna get uploaded on YouTube.
And whoa, sorry.
Yeah.
Shorts will be coming to YouTube, and the TikTok will be up soon.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Make
y'all.
sure to stay tuned for that.
Yep. We got a TikTok coming soon. We got new things, big things coming.
Just wait.
Big man things on the way.
We might have. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say it.
Hey, chill.
All right. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.